Hello and welcome. Yes, I'm still here. Hi, I still exist. Sorry for the disappearance. Just depression's been pretty bad. I haven't had the energy to want to pretty much do anything, but then I also had my tripod broke. It's still not technically fixed. I just found a way to make it work. uh, so yeah, and then honestly, to be 100% honest with you guys, my reading has taken a huge plummet the last 2 months. So I didn't really have much to talk about. Like, I'm pretty sure I could have done other things, but I just wasn't really feeling the inspiration. So yeah. But anyways, I am back, hopefully. Let's keep our fingers crossed that I can stay consistent again. But I have decided to bring you guys a spooky TBR. If you couldn't get that from the apparel, the look, we're going for a very witchy fall kind of thing. Definitely one of my favorite looks to have. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to come back. I'm going to make myself look a little witchy, and we're going to put together, well, I've already put it together, but I'm going to show you guys the TBR that I put together for spooky month, which is October, because I don't know if not a lot of you know, but summer was still part of September. I think the official last day of summer was like the 21st of September. So everybody was getting a little early on their spook. I'm just saying. Their spooky time. So yeah. But anyways, I have decided to put together a very small TBR for October just because I have been having some trouble with staying on top of reading. So there are 5 books for this TBR. Only one of them is from the library. The rest of them are from my actual bookshelves, because remember, we've been trying to read that down. You know, I want to reach that 50% read. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's still a couple months left. You never know. Anything can happen. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this. So the first book is the library book that I have, which is The Boatman's Daughter by Andy Davidson. So this from the back here, I'm just gonna, honestly, I think I'm just gonna read it to you guys so I don't mess up telling you guys all about this. Alone since her father was killed when she was just a child, Miranda Crabtree has kept her head down and her eyes up, ferrying contraband for a mad preacher and his declining band of followers to make ends meet and to protect an old witch and a secret child from harm. Dark forces, both human and supernatural, are at work in the bayou, conspiring to disrupt the rhythms of Miranda's peculiar and precarious life. When the preacher makes an unthinkable demand, it sets Miranda on a desperate, dangerous path, forcing her to consider what she will sacrifice to keep her loved ones safe. Definitely sounds spooky to me. So I'm here for this. We've got witches, we've got supernatural, we've got sounds like maybe a haunted bayou. Everyone knows what happens in the bayou it's never normal. You know, we all know the bayou. That's, you know, the annoyance of filming on your phone is notifications just popping up all the time. Like, it's an annoyance. So anyways, yes, sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping it'll really have like that spooky little edge to it. So next we have The Wolf of Cape Fen by Juliana Brandt. This is a middle grade book. So, and I picked this one up like 2 years ago. But this one is First Frost Has Touched Cape Fen, and that means Baron Dyer has returned. For as long as anyone can remember, he has haunted the town come winter, striking magical bargains and demanding unjust payment in return. The Serling sisters know better than to bargain, lest they find themselves hunted by the Baron's companion, the wolf. And then the wolf attacks Eliza's sister, Winnie. They manage to escape, but they know the wolf will be back, because the wolf only attacks those who owe Baron Dyer. Winnie would never bargain, so that must mean someone else has struck a deal with Winnie as the price. Eliza embarks on a journey to save her sister, but as she untangles the links between Baron Dyer, the wolf, and her family, she discovers a complicated web of bargains that cross all of Cape Fen. If Eliza can learn the truth, she might be able to protect her sister, but the truth behind the bargain could put her own life in danger. So that one sounds fun. This one was, like I said, I bought it like 2 years ago, Barnes & Noble. It was part of like their Halloween sale or whatever that they were having like in the middle grade stuff. And so I picked it up. I know it says it happens like during winter, but I still feel like it fits like the spooky vibes. Like there's a guy doing some hunting, a wolf, like, you know, it's got some spooky vibes to it. And also, I've read all of my middle grade spooky books already. So it was the closest spookiest book that I could find. Because the other two are just, they're like werewolf books, but they're not like spooky werewolves. So yeah. Moving on. Next we have Seed by Anaya Alborn. So this, I actually bought this earlier in the year. I found it at Half Price Books for like $6-7 or something like that. And it's actually a horror book that my baby sister wants to read. And so she's been trying to hunt it down because she wants this exact cover, because it's self-pub, so it has I don't know if this is the latest cover, but she saw it one other time and had a different cover, and she was like, I don't want that one. So I ended up finding this, and I picked it up. But I have seen a couple of people this year who read horror recommend this one a lot, so let's go ahead and hear what it's about. With nothing but the clothes on his back and something horrific snapping at his heels, Jack Winter fled his rural Georgia home when he was just a boy. Watching the world he knew vanish in a trucker's rearview mirror, he thought he was leaving an unspeakable nightmare behind forever. Now, years later, the bright new future he's built suddenly turns pitch black as something fiendishly familiar looms dead ahead. Surviving a violent car crash seems like a miracle for Jack's family. But Jack knows there's nothing divine about it. The profound evil he uncovered as a boy has finally found him again. The thing that crouched at his bedside with soulless eyes and grinning razor-sharp teeth is back with plans for Jack and his angelic youngest daughter, and a chilling promise. I've always been here, and I'll never leave. Like, that sounds really good. And like I said, I've seen a lot of people recommending this one this year. My sister had come across it like 2 years ago. And like I said, I ended up finding it, or at least she came across it last year maybe. And I found it earlier this year. And I was supposed to send this to her after I read it. So I should probably get on that. Just saying. I should. Moving on, the next one we have is They Mostly Come Out at Night by Benedict Patrick, a Yarns World novel. I've had this one for a while. I have attempted to read it numerous times, and it's just because the setting has never been right, so I'm really hoping that this October will finally be the right time, since I'm not reading a bunch of middle grade spooky books. So, yeah, this one is... Lonan is an outcast accused of letting the monsters they stalk the night into the homes of his fellow villagers. Now he will not rest until he wins back the heart of his childhood love and reclaims the life that was once stolen from him. However, locked safely in his cellar at night, in his dreams, Lonan finds himself looking through the eyes of a young prince. Ade, I don't know how to say this name, it's interesting, has a destiny and is terrified, and it terrifies him. How can he hope to live up to the legend of the Magpie King, to become the supernatural protector of the forest and defender of his people? But when the forest is invaded by inhuman force, Ade must rise to this challenge or let the wolves destroy his people. Watching these events unfold in his sleep, Lonan must do what he can to protect his village from his new threat. He is the only person who can keep his loved ones from being stolen away after dark, and to do so, he will have to earn back their trust or watch the monsters kill everyone that he holds dear. So... I have actually read the free short story for this because there's like an entire world or whatever, and I read the short story and I loved it. It had all the correct creepy, scary vibes. That one also mentions the Magpie King, so definitely really, really hoping that this will finally be the year that I finally read this book. It shouldn't take long. It's short. Like, come on, brain. And then the last one I have is A God in the Shed by J.F. DeBow. And let's see, it's right here. It's on the inside jacket because it's got one of those, it's a paperback with a fold out. Anyways, the village of St. Ferdinand has all the trappings of a quiet life. Farmhouses stretching from one main street, a small police precinct, a few diners and cafes, and a grocery store. Though if an out-of-towner stopped in, they would notice one unusual thing. A cemetery far too large and much too full for such a small town, lined with the victims of the St. Ferdinand killer, who has eluded police for nearly 2 decades. It's not until after Inspector Stephen Cowley finally catches the killer that the town discovers, and even darker forces are at play. When a dark spirit reveals itself to young Venus Mackenzie, a resident of St. Ferdinand, she learns that this creature's power has a long history with her town, and that the serial murders merely scratch the surface of a past burdened by evil secrets. So I picked this one up like 4 years ago, because when it comes to like horror books, I really like there to be a entity of some sort. I'm not really into like the like slasher, splatter punk, not really into like for psychological, I prefer that in movie format, but like when it comes to books, like I want there to be like this supernatural, scary entity involved, and the girl at Barnes & Noble said that this had this. It definitely sounds like it does, so I'm definitely hoping that this one ends up being good. I did see it recently recommended by another horror reader on TikTok, so I was like, okay, cool, like, it sounds like it will do exactly what I want it to do. So those are the 5 books that I picked out that are on the October TBR. And I only went with 5 just because I also am going to be reading some romance books with my best friend. They're not like scary romances. They're sci-fi romances. We're going to finish reading a series together, and then I've got like a few arcs that I want to be able to read. So I figure if I keep this small, it will help me regulate everything. Not only that, they're all relatively thin, so that's good. But I am looking forward to them, so fingers crossed that I will have a good October and I will be able to read these. And if you guys have read any of these, or if you've heard of any of them, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of them, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!